I'd like to add on to that about where we got our rights from. And I'd like to thank all the veterans out there and all the families of veterans who have fought in all the wars that have made America what it is, and who have given their lives to see that we are able to have the life that we have now. A lot of us came, a lot of us go back to the Pilgrim days. You know, it took some brave Americans to give up, brave people from all societies to give up what they had and what they knew to come here. Um, my English ancestors came here with the Pilgrims. My Irish ancestors came here during the potato famine, where people were starving over in Ireland. And people may say, oh, well, you know, the blacks were slaves. Well, there were a lot of other people who were enslaved when they came to this country. It was called indentured servitude. And you would give so many of your years in life of service to a family or, you know, a person in exchange for your passage here. And that's the way a lot of the Irish came. A lot of the Irish were indentured, and you know, didn't live the slave life. Now I'm from a state that fought against slavery, and the Civil War was brother against brother, North against South, cousins against cousins. Nobody wanted to fight that war, but they did to help get over slavery. I mean, you need to go back and look at the history a little bit. And for all of you whose family was brave enough to say, yeah, I want a better life, I'm going to America and I'm going to try to, this is where I see the best life for my beliefs and for my family, and moved here. That's the way it is for any country, you know? And that's awesome, but you got to remember the people who gave their lives and their blood to bring you here. You would not be here if somebody had not given up something to be here, to bring you here, for you to have a life here. And yes, sometimes it may suck. We may have a shitty life. Well, you know, a lot of us came over poor. My family, my mother's family had 8 kids. They lived in a remade chicken coop. And then, you know, the other thing is, with all you people pissing on the Bill of Rights and our basic rights, we have the right to pursue happiness. We're not guaranteed it. We have the right to pursue it. We're not guaranteed it. And, you know, and the people that gave it, my grandfather fought in World War II. My father and my uncles fought in the Vietnam War, and my father came back really messed up from the Vietnam War. So bad that he walked out on 4 children. So, you know, you can't, there was a lot of sacrifice that was given for you to have the life that you have right now, and just, you're pissing on it. You're pissing on people's heritage. You're being disrespectful when you, just being so disrespectful for all those people whose family have fought so hard for you to have basic rights. And all you people that are complaining about being fired, a lot of companies have clauses that are called morality clauses. They hold their employees and their business up to a certain moral standard for the outsiders to see, and that's what they expect you to do. So some of this stuff online is not very moral. And, you know, you may have the right to say what you want and do what you want, but is what you're saying something moral? Are you being moral? Are you showing, you know, and then there's moral turpitude, and then there's ethics. You know, these are other things that you need to be aware of when you're talking, especially if you're associated to a business. You know, and business owners, you have a right to refuse service to anybody. It doesn't matter who they are. Just like the free fire state, if you are a private business owner, you have the right to refuse service to anybody. So, you know, if you're a mom and pop joint and you don't want a band of purple-haired, undecided, unclassified sexuality, or even misclassified sexuality, you don't want them in your establishment because it goes against the business and the morals and the ethics that your business upholds, don't let them in. You know, put put the notice on your business that you have the right to refuse service. Make sure you do. Set it up with the law so that you're legal. That way, if anybody says anything, and start videotaping everything. Make sure you have good camera systems in your businesses. Well, I'm rambling, but I have an autistic son. He has a hard enough time with this world without everybody else being confused and making it even more confusing for him.